Trackhouse has a problem. Too many cooks in too small a kitchen. Now, it's not necessarily a bad problem to have, but it's a big inconvenience. Since Justin Marks announced that Trackhouse would be joining the Cup Series in 2021, he has always approached the sport in an unconventional manner. From straight up buying Chip Ganassi Racing, expanding to own a MotoGP team, to even convincing Pitbull to co-own the team.
Being by that boom, Mr. Worldwide, when I step up in the room, daddy.
Now, Trackhouse has been experiencing some difficulties in 2024, not only on the track with a big dip in performance, but also having too many drivers and not enough cars. Let's start with Ross Chastain, who is currently the team's lead driver. He will do anything to win a race. He'll ride the wall, ignore track limits, and with the usual side of annoy Denny Hamlin until he's red in the face. Then there's Daniel Suarez, the lovable, always smiling driver from Monterrey, Mexico with an Xfinity Series title to his name, and 2 Cup Series wins, most recently Atlanta this year, and is currently fighting in the playoffs in 2024. Then there is Trackhouse's developmental program. First, Shane Van Gisbergen from New Zealand, home of the Kiwis and the Ravels, who took an unorthodox path to NASCAR at the young age of 35, who decided to start his NASCAR career in Supercars, which he was okay. I mean, 3 championships, 81 wins, and one of only 2 drivers in history to win the Bathurst 1000, Bathurst 6 Hour, and the Bathurst 12 Hour. So yeah, he was pretty good. Oh, and he also made everyone his bitch in his Cup debut at Chicago just for good measure. Currently at the moment he's driving the Xfinity Series, already racked up 3 wins in his first year. Then there's Connor Zilic, 18 years old, who was born in 2006? There's people born at that age? That goes to show you how pathetic my life is. He's racing cars at that age and I'm 4 years older than him and I'm still living with my parents. I love you, but f you, Connor. But on a real, I do like you. Anyways, he's already a 24 Hours at Daytona winner, a 12 Hours of Sebring winner. Oh, and for good measure, he won the pole, led the most laps, and won his debut Xfinity Series race at Watkins Glen. Just another big middle finger to all you 20-year-olds that are having nothing to do with your life and he's winning at life. Okay, enough crying. All you need to know is that this kid has incredible talent, and Dale Jr. recognized that, signing him to the 88 car full-time in Xfinity for 2025. Which leaves us with one more. Zane Smith. Or actually, not anymore because they got rid of him. But why? Why get rid of a driver that seemed to have so much talent riding behind him? Well, let's take a look back at how we got here. Zane Smith from Huntington Beach, California has always been considered one of NASCAR's rising stars. In 2016, he was a part of the series that is the literal devil on wheels known as ARCA. At 19 years old, he competed for a full season driving for MDM Motorsports, snatching up 4 wins and finishing second in the points, while competing in a one-off race in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, a deal that came together the week of the race, and Smith had to rush to get his licenses prepared in time to start 10th and finish 5th in his debut race. Now, like Connor Zilic, Dale Jr. took notice. In 2019, he competed in the Xfinity Series for Junior Motorsports, snatching up 2 top 5s and 7 top 10s in his 10 starts. That got him a ride at GMS Racing in the Truck Series for 2020. At that time, they were considered one of the best teams in terms of the developmental division of NASCAR. In his first season, he went to victory lane 2 times and made it to the championship 4 that year, finishing second. In 2021, he did it again, winning the penultimate race at Martinsville and making it to the championship 4, finishing second again. But if you keep performing well, good things will come, and Ford and Front Row Motorsports were paying attention, taking him for the 2022 season. He competed in his debut race in the Cup Series for RFK Racing to replace Chris Buescher at Gateway, who was sidelined due to COVID, and drove the number 17 Ford to a respectable 17th place finish. But in the trucks, Smith was a veteran on how to win in today's NASCAR playoff format. You want to be a part of the championship? Then win. Even better, win at Daytona, which is exactly what Zane did. He followed that up with 2 more wins in the regular season at Circuit of the Americas and Kansas, and his playoff run was an impeccable display of consistency. His 2022 playoff run had him finish 4th or better in 5 of the 8 races. Only one time did he finish outside the top 10 at Talladega, having a 5.4 average finish in the entire 8-race run, culminating in finishing 1 spot better than what he did in the previous 2 years. Finally becoming a champion in the Truck Series. Smith's incredible performance did not go unnoticed. In fact, Front Row was going all in with Zane Smith. In 2023, not only would he do another full year of trucks, but would even replace Todd Gillen for a number of races in a 38 car in the Cup Series. Although his time in Cup didn't go over so well, finishing in the top 20 only 1 time in 8 starts, he did finish 10th in the Coca-Cola 600, which was very impressive. In trucks, however, it was deja vu, for Zane winning at Daytona again and again later on at COTA. It seems as if things were lining up for a back-to-back championship run. That was until Homestead, when he finished second but was then disqualified and as a result eliminated after post-race inspection after it was discovered to have unapproved windshield supports. That was the least of his worries, however. Like I said earlier, you keep winning, good things will come. Enter Trackhouse. On September 16, 2023, Smith signed a multi-year deal with Trackhouse Racing. As part of the partnership deal, Smith would drive with Spire Motorsports' third team in 2024 and was expected to join Trackhouse full-time in a third team in 2025. However, that pissed off Ford and Front Row, who were banking on Zane being their next big driver to lean on. Anyways, in 2024, Zane was in prime position to have somewhat a respectable season. Spire wasn't the greatest, but they've shown that they were capable of performing. Unfortunately, that's exactly what Smith didn't do. You can make the argument that he's a rookie, he needed more time to adjust, and while that's all true, it doesn't help that his teammate, when he's not being an absolute terrorist, was putting on some great drives in Carson Hocevar. But very early on, things started to get rocky for his future. On May 2024, 2021 Daytona 500 champion Michael McDowell announced he'd be leaving Front Row Motorsports to join Spire, replacing Zane Smith in the 71 car for 2025. Not even halfway into his full Cup season and he's already searching for a new ride. But hey, he's got Trackhouse and they've shown interest in expanding. I'm sure they would give him a ride. Right? Well, that was until Shane Van Gisbergen decided to light up the world and start winning. That put Trackhouse in an uncomfortable position. With both the 1 and the 99 rides locked up, Trackhouse had to pick 2 drivers for 1 spot. On August 23, 2024, a stunning announcement was made as Trackhouse parted ways with Zane Smith. Okay, in reality, let's be honest, they let him go. Like, I get it, you're trying to make it sound better to the public, but we all know what you're doing. And the next day, they announced Gisbergen as Trackhouse's 3rd Cup entry for 2025. This move was a bit confusing. Gisbergen, while yes, extremely talented, you can tell he needed more stock car experience before he was deemed ready for Cup. And while Zane Smith started the season horribly, since Nashville when he finished 2nd, he's actually been performing a lot better in recent weeks. A 7th at Michigan, a 5th at Watkins Glen, and a 10th last weekend at Kansas. So why make this switch? Simple. It's all about the money. In a cutthroat sport like NASCAR where teams are more reliant than ever on sponsors, unless you are absolutely demolishing the field, you better have some funding behind you. And that's what Gisbergen has over Smith. Gisbergen has Red Bull, Wendy's, and his popularity overall skyrocketed with his Chicago win that helps not only NASCAR's popularity, but more importantly, brings more attention to Trackhouse than having Zane Smith be promoted to Cup. You can call it cruel or unfair, but it's a simple matter of fact that that's how life is in racing. The question is now, what's next for Zane Smith? Rumors going around the garage suggest that with Front Row obtaining a 3rd charter from the departing Stewart-Haas Racing could make an entryway for a reunion between Smith and Front Row, but there still may be some hurt feelings over Zane's 2023 departure. My answer to that is simply that. Zane Smith is a driver that has talent and is Cup ready in my opinion, especially with how he's done in recent weeks, and Front Row would be too stupid not to take him as a driver. Too many drivers have unfortunately had their careers cut short due to unfortunate circumstances. Don't let Zane Smith be another statistic.